sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, Toon here, back again. Right then, what I want to do is I want to do a overview of, I can't do a review because pretty much I haven't had this system for very long and I've got to give it back. So I can't review it really because I haven't really had enough time to play it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a bit of an overview of the system. If you have a look at my unboxing video, you can have a look how the system works. You can use it. I did make a slight mistake in my overview of it. It doesn't work with fast I/O. You do need to get a different I/O for your cab if you're running a Vuelix or something for this to work. But you can use the machine as a console essentially. As long as you get an Iona I/O board, you can basically plug your joypads or joysticks in there and it'll just work on you, which is really nice. I'll try and find links to the Iona board for you. If you are thinking of doing it, and I'll find links to the EXa site and the pages for the games and the hardware I've got here. So I've got it powered up. As you see, it starts up with the EXa logo and stuff, and it powers up. It is a PC-based system. I'm not sure the hardware specs on it. EXa themselves say it's more powerful than the PS5, but I don't really believe them, to be honest. But it doesn't really matter because this is a pure arcade system. I think it is one of the newest arcade systems out there, and you know, for what it does, it's perfect. The machine can run a 4K. It can work down to 480p on CRTs as long as they're 31 kHz and they accept like a VGA input, like say Naomi cabs. So it'll work anywhere in between. Most Japanese arcade cabs, like the one I'm on at the moment, they're going to be 720p or 1080p, depending on what screen and what card you got. So this machine is perfectly suited for that. Good things what they've done is, because what EXa have been trying to do is trying to get the input lag down as low as possible, and this machine is an input lag beast. It's basically they've got the majority of games down to 1 frame, which is pretty amazing. They feel like super tight to play. It's more like playing on a Mister in some ways. Like they feel like that. The input latency does jump up a little bit when it comes to running the games at 4K, but unless you're running on a home TV, I don't think there's any 4K cabs out there that even this would run on, unless they're like made up cabs or something for EXa. But you know, the sweet spot, essentially is probably 1080p. And that's where you're going to get the lowest latency. There are some games that run at 2 frames or 3 frames. EXa have done quite a good job of basically reviewing all the Japanese arcade cabs, telling you the input latency on the monitors and the resolutions of all the cabs, and they've done a good job of pointing out the input latency in all their games as well, which is really good. They've been really upfront and honest about that. The games themselves, they come on little cartridges which look to be NVMe drives inside them. I'll say off the start, this machine isn't cheap because it isn't meant for home use. It's meant to go into an arcade to supply a service to charge per play. So it's more akin to sort of like the price of the original Neo Geo back in the day in the Neo Geo cartridges. So you're talking like the machine's probably going to run you back like 2,200, and the top end games like the ones I've got in here are about 15 to 1,700 quid each, which it is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but like I said, they're not really meant for the home market. But you can't buy them for the home market and use them. So if you are into, you know, brand new arcade tech, which is what this is, and brand new arcade games, which you literally you can't get some of these versions anywhere else. The other thing I'll point out as well, EXa did start off and getting a foothold in the arcades, especially in Japan, by offering a lot of Steam games. So basically, I think they pretty mantra is essentially they were taking the game from Steam, getting companies who want to put the games out in the arcades, and then they have to do something new that's not on the other versions you buy. So there's new modes, there's new music, there's new characters, there's new levels, there's various other things, but they have to do something new, and then it becomes an exclusive to the arcade. So a lot of games on here are sort of like converted Steam games. It was a good way to get a foothold in the market, and it's a good way for some of these people that are putting games on Steam that are good enough to be an arcade game to get their games out in the arcade and get a start in arcade development, which is really good. And because arcade development is essentially dying off, isn't it? But in Japan it's still popular, and EXa has done a pretty good job of getting a lot of games into the arcade. As far as I know, there's over 50 games on here now. I'm not sure the entire list, but each cartridge is numbered. I think let's have a look. Dondonpachi SDOJ, I think that's 21, but I think there's over 50, but don't quote me on that just in case I'm slightly wrong. So yeah, if you want to plug this in the TV, literally it comes with DVI output, it's got HDMI and DisplayPort, so you can just get a HDMI cable, plug that in the TV, plug a standard kettle lead, like a PC type kettle type lead, one of them, and get yourself an Iona board, and literally you can just run it on TV like a console, which is rather cool. The machine itself doesn't have a power button because it's meant to go on an arcade machine. The arcade turns on, the machine turns on. You can get a switch or get a wireless power extender or something just to turn it off. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to power down or anything. You can literally just turn it off. So the machine must be set up as just reading. It doesn't write anything to the actual hard disk or on the inside. So yeah, it's a nice bit of kit. It's not super big. It's like a mid-size sort of Dell PC size. It's quite heavy and quite a lot of heft to it, to be honest. Yeah, nice and easy to set up. So I'll just go into, like, for home use. This is not going to make any use. I don't know why it doesn't quite display properly on my screen, but it might look fine on the screen over there. But if you press the service menu, there's various settings you can choose for the operators. So basically, you can sound on, game launching, that type of stuff. You got a region, Japan. You can change lots of stuff. So you can change the world. So you get a lot of English. You can auto start the game. Yeah, you can test your I/O buttons and things like that, which I probably didn't want to come there because I can't get out. There's your standard monitor settings, so you can change by cabinet as well. See, so there's the different types of cabinets, the different type screens, like the Diamond Black's 1080p. I got a 1080p screen with Diamond Black in mine. The standard Noirs are basically 720. The standard Vulix is 720 as well, including the Diamond Blues. And Limburgs and stuff. So it sets per screen. So if I click on the Diamond Black, because that's pretty much what screen I got in here. Let's see what that makes a difference. Like, it should make a difference. So there you go. So I'll click yes to keep that. And then we'll go back into the menu. I wonder if it'll display properly. Nah, it's still the same. You can set the resolution manually and all that type of stuff. So you can basically output to 4K, whatever. You get your time and date settings, which basically arcades will use for tracking your counters, how many coins and everything have been put in there, times and dates, how long it's been on, booking information. So there's where I've been using it, and there's the credits and stuff and the usage it's had so far. You can see I played it for 6 hours essentially, and how many credits have I used? Coins, I put 103 coins in it. Cool. So pretty much that's the usage I've used on it so far. It could be more now actually. Yeah, 103 coins. So I think got the terms of use. So we'll save and exit out of that. So all that stuff is mainly for arcade operators. When you turn the machine on, you get this really cool menu. As you can see, the machine can do 4 cartridges at once, by the way. When you're on this menu, the game will automatically switch between games, and it'll show you, give you like music and stuff, and show you like the track modes and stuff, which is really nice. Or you can click the button and switch between the games yourself, which is really nice. Like I say, it does support the 4 cartridges, so you will have 4 screens. So that's very much like old school Neo Geo, isn't it? Like 4, 6 cartridges all at once in a multi-machine, and you can flick between the games at any time. So in lots of ways, EXa is quite like a modern Neo Geo in some ways. So that's the front end anyway, guys. It's nice and simple. I like it, nice and easy and clean looking. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of an overview on the free games in here. I don't know a huge amount about the way the systems work and stuff in here, but I did suss quite a bit out last night how it works. So some of this information might be a little off or a little bit wrong, but it's what I've managed to figure out so far. So we'll start the game with Aka the Blue. Say this was originally a iPhone release. I thought it had been taken off the store, but it hadn't. It's on the Android store and everything as well. So when this game starts up, you can also press the service menu in game, and you can change your buttons in game, which is really nice. It doesn't work on one of them though, but it works on most of them. And you can change the screen resolution. This can also be outputted in vertical or tate mode as well, and you can play the games horizontal or vertical. Doesn't matter whether they're horizontal or vertical games. So Aka the Blue. This game is really tricky. As being an arcade game, it is quite hard, and it's got a tricky scoring system to it. So I'm going to start this up. So you get a choice of 2 characters. If I leave this play, it's quite useful actually. It tells you all about the system and how it works. The first character has got like a spread shot. When you hold on the button to go into the slower movement, more focus shot, he fires more weapons. The second character has a more sort of forward shot, and when you hold the button on her down, she starts firing missiles. And when it comes to using bombs, the first character will bomb perfectly straight. The second character, you see the arrow at the top, you can aim the bomb to different sections. So if you're in the corner, you can aim the bomb at the side to bomb like an enemy, which is useful, but then you gotta be careful if you want to shoot the bomb straight every time. So this basically explains about the bombs. It's good they put this on you. It explains about the different ships and what they do. There's the bomb. The bomb system is basically you basically collect all the icons that come down the screen, all like the medals essentially, and it powers up your bomb to a level 5 max. When you shoot at level 1, it bombs and just cancels some of the bullets. And then when you shoot a level 2, it'll get some medals back. And then when you power up at level 3, it'll shoot off hit something, and you'll get a few medals. And when you get a level 5, you can fire it off, say hit your boss or something, and you get a stream of medals coming back down the screen. So the idea is, as you see there with the medals, is to collect as many medals as you can. So get your bomb up to a certain level, fire, it cancels all the bullets and hits an enemy. Get the stream of medals, collect the medals as best you can, and then you can fire the bomb again. So you can build up your bomb level back up. Got to be a little bit careful, because when you fire your bomb, you're only invincible for a very small amount of time, and while the medals are coming down and the bomb is still going off, you need to dodge bullets as well. So it's not like you're totally invincible. So we'll start this up. There's 2 ways of playing this. You've got a score attack, which is quite useful, or you've got, I haven't actually tried the score attack, so we'll do that after we do play the single player. Yeah, so there's the 2 characters. I don't know why they got the tape in the middle, but that's quite cool. I say this game looks really nice. It's quite an upgrade on the original one. It's very different to the original iPhone one. They've done a lot to change it and change the systems around. There's a lot of talking in there. I say literally it's just you hold on the button to get the more for a focus shot and slower for dodging bullets, and then you tap it to move around fast. So as you see, I collected enough medals then to get my bomb up to level 2. Every time you see a flash, your bomb goes up, so basically level 3. And then you keep collecting. I'll collect up to level 5 and I'll use it. I say this is done by ex-Cave development staff. Very much like Dondonpachi in some ways, but different enough to be its own thing, you know. It's got very nice bullet patterns as well. So we'll get up to the mid-boss and we'll bomb the mid-boss. I say it's like 3D graphics on you. So there's the mid-boss. So now I'll leave a lot of bullets on screen. I'll bomb him. And now I have to dodge because my invincibility's run out. And I've collected enough coins. I'm straight back up to a level 5 again now. So I can fire that off again, essentially. and get loads more medals. So it is a bit of a risky reward in some ways of firing and getting the medals, and you basically, what happens is, well, you can't instantly bomb again either. So I couldn't, like, say, collect up to a level 2 while the medals are coming down, bomb and carry on. There is a slight delay before you can bomb again, so you've got to collect as many and keep dodging. I suppose otherwise you could continuously just keep going and going with bombs. You can also chain the levels as well for extra points. Chaining I'm not so good at doing. I haven't really practiced trying to do it, but it is cool it's in there, so I'm going to fire this off for you now, and then I have to dodge. You've got to be careful to go to the right or the left, kill these bombs, and then I'm going to fire it off again when there's a lot of stuff on screen, and hopefully he should blow up, which he did. This little fight is a little bit, it's quite easy to dodge actually. You can basically just go to the opposite side and tack dodge it across. So the first level, reasonably easy, and then it starts getting hard. So my chain was dropping down then. Like I said, I haven't practiced the chaining at all. So obviously, you know, to get high scores in this, it's all about collecting those medals and chaining. And that's pretty much what I've worked out about this game so far. I did play last night for a fair amount of time, and I really like it. I think it's really good. It does get a lot better after, from the third level onwards. It gets a bit crazy. And I will say, if you're going for a 1cc on this, it's going to be a very hard 1cc. Which, you know, when you're paying the money for this and it's an arcade game, that's what you want, essentially. It's going to take a lot of practice, I think, to get a 1cc on this. But that, you know, that's what you want, essentially. That's, you know, if you're into shmups like me, a good challenge and good bullet patterns and systems that keep you busy and keep you interested is what you're looking for. I say this is bullet hell, as you can see. Being ex-cave staff, I suppose that's what you'd expect. I think the graphics are really nice, and it's got quite a unique 3D look. It's almost like I know, it's almost like a cartoony look, but it isn't. So what I've got to do now, I've got to make sure I keep dodging that shit that's flying around, because I can't use my bomb again yet, but now I can use it. So you can't just use your bomb to dodge everything. This second mid boss as well is super tricky. Okay, okay, I've got to slowly tap this across, otherwise I'm going to get myself in trouble. Oof, I managed to do the mid boss without dying. That's quite good. That's hard, surprisingly hard to do. That mid boss can be a little bit of a wall. I said I was really getting into this last night. I really enjoying it. I said I doubt very much we were having a bit of a discussion last night about this. I doubt very much these will come to console. They may do, maybe in like 10 years time or something. But I think the EXa deal is that they stay in arcade. They stay in the arcades basically. Right, this boss is hard, so I'm going to dodge for a bit. Just to get the bomb in a slightly different place. Right, so I've got another bomb again now, so right, he's just about to die, this boss. What you see on there, there's like lines on his boss's NG. At those lines, they bullet cancel, and the bosses basically die. And then you get a slight reprieve before you've basically got to fire them again. I just got hit. Probably should have used my bomb. But this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Fire that off at him, hopefully. Oh, I got it. This, I haven't quite worked out the best place to stay to dodge that at the moment. So we'll cancel that out. I say that's the best I've done in here so far is get to level 3. I know it doesn't sound great, but it's damn hard. But it's very Moorish, that's all I can say. If that's such a thing. Right, so we'll basically go off and do the score attack mode, which I haven't tried yet. Oh, score attack it is. Skip that. I think you can turn that off in the service menu. Right, so you can pick any level then. That's quite cool. So you can score attack any level. So a score attack level 3. And we'll use the other character. That's quite handy. So if you've got a score attack level and you can pick any level in the game, you can use that for practice. Which is really good, actually. I say this is the latest version of the game. The games can be updated, but they do have to go back to EXa to be updated. Obviously, they're keeping that for piracy, so they don't want anyone updating them, and you know, piracy getting out and people copying them, which is fair enough, like, as this new system. So the machines can be updated as well. You probably the same with the machine. They probably got to go back to EXa as well, I expect. Not if you know, if you home use, you probably never even need to update them anyway. I say I would like one of these myself, but I couldn't afford one. I haven't got that much spare cash hanging around. But they are very nice. They're a very nice fit for my cab. They're essentially made to work on cabs like I've got anyway. Those like snake things that come down be a bit tricky to kill. The music on this level was really good, it's banging. Yeah, it's got like if you look carefully on the graphics, it's got like a bit of almost like a pencil sort of drawn sort of overlay over the top of it to make the graphics look a little bit different, like somebody's taken a pencil and actually basically drawn them, hand drawn them. Which is quite an interesting effect. You don't really notice it when you're playing, like, but when you're not playing, you can get on there and have a look at it. So I've got to this level, but I haven't worked out a way of doing this level yet. See, and the way the lives are, where you don't get any invincibility, you basically die, and it instantly comes back. Is you can game over on this game really quick. So I think the idea is learning how to bomb, you know, effectively in places and get the most out of it, and then get your medals back and get another bomb again. It's learning the best places and the best ways to use your bomb, I think. There's the level 4 boss. Best way to optimize it to get your bomb back. Okay, this boss is quite hard. He's got like 4 different phases. Right, here we go. Okay, we've done 2 phases. Caught me. You got a little bit of you do have a little bit of invincibility actually when you get hit, as I just seen, it gives you a little bit of a shield. So that is the score mode. It's the first time I played that. So like I said, you can use the score mode as a way of practicing the game. So if you hold down button 1 and press start, resets you back. You basically hold them down. Resets you back to the main menu, which is quite nice. You can swap in between games. So we'll have a go of SDOJ. So Dondonpachi SDOJ, EXa label, the True Death. This basically, you can get this game on 360. I'm not sure if it's come out on some other things. It might have. But this is basically the best version of this game. The 360 one has got at least 4 frames of input lag, possibly 5. It does feel a little bit laggy, even though it's good. But this one is 1 frame. This version is literally better than the arcade one. And funny enough, the arcade one costs a lot more money. So basically, you've got the original mode, and if you hold down one of the other buttons, you get the overflows on. Apparently, that's a glitch. I was informed last night by Shmupru. That is a glitch, but they've left it in. This one, you get the EXa label with the new system for playing. If you didn't know, Cave did white labels, which are like the original ones. They did black labels, which were like the same game with slightly different mechanics and stuff. So they did doubly release their games. So you basically got the EXa label. You got the EXa range mode, which is the arrange mode off the 360 version, which is really good. It's basically your when you bomb. I'll go through it when I have a go over it. So you've got the original game, which is your basically standard game. So we'll skip that one because probably some people have played it, and we'll play the EXa label. In the EXa label, mechanics are a little bit different. It's a little bit like Daifuketsu in the fact that you can get the hypers and you can use the hypers to cancel bullets. But in this as well, when you pick up a bomb, it also cancels bullets. And when you pick up a B icon, it also cancels bullets. The more bullets you cancel at the time, the more medals you'll pick up, and then those medals in turn will charge your hyper gauge again. When you're hyper in and you're killing lots of things, your rank goes up. This goes to rank 50, I believe. I think that's the top rank on you. But when you bomb, it lowers the rank. So a little bit similar to the mode on the 360, but different enough to be its own thing. And I've got to admit, I think this mode is really good fun. And you get to use the character, which I believe is only on the 360 arrange mode. So we'll use her. You've got the nice gadgets on the sides as well, a bit like an M2 game. I've been informed by Shmupru as well that the gadgets, you do get them in Tate mode as well, top and bottom. Yeah, so it's like in this now, you can do a lot of bullet cancels. So you've got to keep your eye out for the bees on the floor, and you've got to pick your bombs up at the right time as well. It does have an Autobomb system as well, so if you get hit by Autobomb, you lose all your bombs in one go. So I'll show you how it works. You basically, it's got arranged music as well. You can change that arranged music. There's 3 different music tracks on it. So if I wait and pick this up, it'll cancel all the bullets into medals. Same with the bombs. The bombs will do exactly the same thing. We'll go for that. As you can see, my hyper is charging. Your hyper charge is really fast on this game. So if I wait, I pick our bomb up now when there's a lot of bullets on screen. Or full bullets on screen. So when I hyper now, I can hyper and I can cancel the bullets by tapping it, or I can use the beam to basically kill the boss really fast. But you don't cancel bullets when you use it. So very much like Daifuketsu. So that was the bullet cancel then as well. Your hypers can build up to level 10, I believe. And once you get there, you get the max level. Once you get to the max level then, basically your hyper will last for a fair amount of time, and you can melt bosses when you're on a high hyper. You should notice now, because I've used the hypers and I'm using one, my rank is going up. So basically the game is getting harder. Yeah, you can also chain as well as in this, as you could in the original one. Like I said, I haven't really tried chaining on this, so I'm not. You know, you have got to route the levels to do it. But I'm not so good at the trainings, the chaining, so I haven't really tried it. So now I've taken the sides off. Pretty much most of the bosses, I think all of them, have got little bits you can take off. Once you do take off, you notice it cancels all the bullets and they blow up for a second. Handy to do, but it will take you longer to kill the bosses when you do it. I say, after playing the 360 version of that, this plays so nice. I should have just used the hyper then. This plays very, very nice. Super tight. That's all I say. So at the moment, I think I've got the new music track, which is like the other one, but it's slightly different. It's more of like a slight arranged, but it's quite nice. Actually, it might not be on this one. Actually, it might just be the Katana that does it. I don't know, I'll check. So it's a good idea to time your bombs pickups. Like you can see the beaver there, so I'm not gonna die. But if you wait, pick it up, you can cancel all that for a lot of points and a lot of medals. Now I'm playing terrible. Like I say, I don't want a long game anyway, because I need to show you guys a lot of it and how it works. That was a nice cancel. I can use that bomb now when I get a chance to pick it up. I can use that to cancel bullets as well. I'm going to use a hyper here. Melt him with a hyper. That's it, so I should have a hyper again now. I say this is a really nice addition to the original version. You got to be careful of those hypers as well, because they can basically run out at the time when you're trapped in a corner. And you'll end up just dying straight away. So I'm going to bomb soon. You'll notice my rank will end up going down a bit. It's on 18 at the moment. So it gets a little bit more hectic. I'm going to try and kill the things on the sides, the little bomb bots. Yeah, that's the one. To the other side as well. So I'll bomb now, and you see my rank jumps down. So you can basically manage your rank in lots of ways by using your bombs. So, and it does give you quite a lot of bombs, so I think you do need to use them quite a bit. And that was pretty much a terrible dodge. But anyway, that's the EXa mode, which is really nice. I really like the EXa mode. I think it does add quite a bit of extra strategy to the game and makes it a little bit more interesting than the original version. So I'm going to just put that in. Now I'm going to hold down button 1 and press start, and we'll go back. Ah, I didn't need to do that, sorry. All I needed to do was press start to go back. It should go back to the menu then to give you a choice of which one you want to pick. So let's get a credit in there. So this is the arrange. If you hold down start, it gives you an option that comes up, and then it allows you to use the original or the arranged music. So it was Akai Katana, the extra stuff. You can change your language, you can change your hyper button and all that type of stuff, and then you can exit. So it's nice, you get a little bit of extra options. I say this version's a little bit different. You've got an energy bar at the bottom. That energy bar is your energy essentially. You ain't got lives. When you bomb, it uses part of your energy bar. When you get hit, it loses part of your energy bar. What you have to do then is charge your hyper gauge, press bomb and shot together to kick off the hyper. And while you're in hyper mode, you're collecting lots of the green medals then, which basically builds your energy back up. So it's a little bit of a different system again, but also really good fun. So let's just use a different character for the out of it. So you've got to manage your energy bar. Same with the rank as well. I think bombing drops your rank on this one, and using the hypers ups the rank. I think out of all the different versions I've played, I think the EXa version probably is the best one. This is very good as well. If you've got the 360 version, play the arranged version. It's really good. So you can see my rank is low again. And now, obviously, the bees or picking up bombs, they don't cancel bullets. Again, hit does the same thing. You basically have lost a bit of range, as you see. Very nice. Like all arcade games, a hard game, but it's really good fun. So I've got a hyper build up. So if I hyper now, you'll see my energy building back up. So I'm collecting the green medals off the boss, and it's filling my energy bar back in. But my rank has gone up to number 1 now. But in this one, you can't cancel bullets. I like that bullet cancelling mechanic from Daifuketsu. It's really good. I think that's why I like the EXa mode the best. I think the EXa mode actually is better than the original arcade one. This is the Ketsui helicopter essentially. Play 2 version. So if I use a bomb now, it'll drop the rank, but then I'll lose a little bit of energy as well. So if I press 2 together, I'll get my hyper going, and then I'll use that to get my energy back. So the higher the hyper level, the longer that'll last, and then essentially you get more energy back, but then your rank will go up as well. Same with this as well. You can basically change things. Yes, I think you can change things in this version. You get the hit bonuses and various things like that. So there's a bee underneath there. I don't know why I call them bees, they're wasps more than anything else. But this version is very nice on the 360. It's cool that they added it to the EXa version as well. Makes it interesting. You've literally got like 3 different ways you can play this game, which gives you a lot of options and a lot of replayability, because they are quite different the way the mechanics work. So my hyper's built up to level 1. I want a higher hyper if I can get it. I'm gonna bomb this, I think. I don't like dodging this pattern. This pattern could be a bit tricky to dodge. Say what you do in this as well. If you tap the button, you can basically collect all the medals as well. So if it loads on screen, if you tap the button and hold it down for a second, you'll collect everything on screen. They'll all zoom towards you. Like I hold it, it all zooms towards me. So my hyper is built up quite a bit now. In there. See if I can build up a bit for this boss now and see how much energy I can get back. I'll kick it off straight away. See how much energy I can actually build back off a level 3 hyper. Once I don't get it, of course, which I just did. I say I had started playing this mode quite a bit on the 360. Oh, unless I hyper to get my energy back, I'm going to die. So, that's that. I'll show you the last mode on you. So we'll go back, I'll put a credit in, goes back. We'll show the Abachi mode. This is the true last boss, Abachi, and this is the mode where you can practice playing him, or her. So if you basically, I can't remember the requirements you need to get this boss to appear once playing through the game. I think you need some requirements anyway. Say don't hold me now, I might be slightly wrong. But if you do it all right, you get to this last boss. So we'll have a go with my favourite character on it. I say you can turn the Autobomb off as well. And this starts you at rank 50 as well. So you'll get to have a look how crazy this game can get. So a lot of cave shoot maps have got a true last boss. Here we go, she looks innocent. I say there may be some graphical improvements on this. I noticed some on Akai Katana. At least I think there's some graphic improvements on it. Here we go. So basically, I've got it already. I'm dead already. Gives you 5 lives, which is called 6 lives. I'm gonna have to cross over it there at some point. Crossover bullets, man. Confuse the hell out of me. So it's good that you can practice it though, because this boss is going to take a crazy amount of practicing. Like when I'm bombing, it is lowering the rank a little bit, I think. It's gone down to 34. Still, there's a lot going on. Hyper. No chance. So that's a batch, you guys, anyway. Right, so what we'll do on this one then, if I hold down button 1 and press start. Go back. And we'll have a look at the last game. I say I will be streaming these again tonight. That's the plan. So here we go. Akai Katana. This is one of my favourite cave games. On the original arcade version, you bounce the bullets around you. I don't like it so much. It's not that great. But on the 360 version, they added the slash mode where you got to gain steel and everything. That is fantastic. The slash mode is amazing. I really love that mode. So, 3 modes, the original arcade, you've got the EXa label, you've got the slash mode off the 360, and you've got the 360's climax mode as well. So we won't bother with the original one, we'll go for slash first to give you an idea how that works. If you hold down start again on this one, the option comes up and you can have the original music arranged or FM. I really like the FM music. It's a little bit different to the arranged. It is the same tune essentially, but they've added more sort of stuff in the background. So there's like you can hear like tingle drums, not tingle drums. We've got tingle drums in the background and various other things going on, and it's a bit more sort of atmospheric with the music over the top. I always like that character. So the idea in this version, you can chain as well, or you can also put it in English. You can actually read what they're talking about with the story. So the idea in this version is you've got to collect steel, and you use steel to get swords to kill enemies. So when you tap the button, you get all these little icons flying towards you, which is steel. And if you look at the ring around the ship, it builds up the kanji characters around the ship. And once you get to the top, you get full steel. If you hold down the button, you get the E icons, which basically the more E icons you got, is the longer you can stay in the mode you've got to switch into for the steel. So if I switch into that mode now, basically it flies off, it collects steel from the bosses, and you see the swords around me, you can angle them, and when you let go, the swords will fly off, destroy anything in front of them, and give you loads of big bonuses. You can also use this on the bosses to gain loads of extra points off the bosses as well. So the idea with this is to build up your steel as high as possible, and then use it on the bosses when they're just about to die, or if there's a line in the engine, you can use it at them points as well to get huge points off the bosses. Obviously you can use it to cancel bullets to survive as well. I'm going to get some energy now, because the longer, sometimes you've got to stay in that mode quite a bit before you can shoot it to get steel. So you need to have a lot of the energy to stay in the mode. Oh, his energy's going down. I'm going to try and see if I can collect some steel. get him down a little bit further. So I'm going to fire off now, and that's destroying him. So I'm going to basically point the swords and then fire again, hopefully kill him. Yeah, I got some, not a huge bonus because I didn't have much steel. This mode is like super fun with the mechanic with the steel and the time in that sort of hyper mode. It's really good fun, and you can learn the levels, and you can learn the best places to use the steel to get the most points. Super fun this mode is. I think when it came to the 360, they knew that this mode was way better than the arcade one. I think this mode got released on EXa system as well. I think it's literally just this mode. So I got full steel again though, but I ain't got much energy, so I'm gonna have to just get, when you get close to enemies you can hog energy off them. So then I'm gonna use the steel. Get him for big points. So if you've got a 360 and you've got a UK 360, you can buy Akai Katana for really cheap. You're talking probably about a tenner, and it's literally the Japanese limited edition version. It's a really good package, and it doesn't sell for much money. The Japanese one does. So I won't play for too long because I want to show you the EXa mode. So basically, I'll do that again now. And then I got my sword, my steel. There it goes. So I'm going to kill myself and go to the EXa mode. It looks like as well that they obviously they licensed this from Cave and they added stuff themselves, and it is the asset, by the look of it, it is the assets off the 361. I think it's had a few graphical updates. I'm not entirely sure, but I think there's a few more things in some of the background layers, which I haven't noticed on the 360 version. But yeah, they literally created an entirely new mode for this game. Good. So we'll get out with that one. So let's chuck another credit in there. So we'll have a go with the EXa mode now. I'm not entirely sure how everything works in the EXa mode, but this is like a little bit of a cross between Escaluda and this game. So you've got the same mechanic where you can hold down the button to collect time, and you tap the button to collect, I know they like these bloody cogs, which give you, once you get your energy bar at full, if you can go into like the hyper mode, which you can stay in that mode for ages, but in that mode you can cancel bullets by waiting for loads of bullets to come on screen and killing the enemy that did those bullets. And what happens if there's other bullets on screen, it'll cancel the whole lot for high points. A little bit like Escaluda in lots of ways. This is really good, and I was playing it last night for quite a bit, and I think this mode is probably just as good as the slash mode. So basically you can tap as well to get the time thing going up, so the green bar's going up, or you can hold it down to get more of the ones. I don't think, can I, yeah, you can still, it's the same. Okay, that's cool, I learned that. So basically you tap in, you go into this mode, and you fire the swords off, and it cancels the bullets for the like the green blobs, and then they're used for scoring. So it's a little bit, it's like a sort of a cross between this and Escaluda, because it slows down time as well, so basically the bullets do go slower. I really do like this mode. I said, you know, there's probably a lot more to this mode that I've figured out so far as well. You can do the same on the bosses as well. Once you get them down, if you kill them with using that sword weapon, you get loads of extra points as well, especially if there's loads of bullets on screen. It doesn't seem quite like the way it works in the slash mode, but it's a bit harder to get a timer. You've got to get the energy down quite a bit to basically be able to do the cancel. As I die straight away. We'll try it on this boss though. See his energy's down now. So if I basically go into that mode now and cancel, as long as there's a lot of bullets on screen, you get a lot of the greens and you get those medals flying out. Swap back. So you can't stay in that mode for very long though. It's like a time. It does go down quite a bit, the time on it. So you're limited on how long you can stay in there. So if I charge it back up now, so if I go back into it, start killing enemies, it'll start. So, I say you need to know the optimal places to use it for optimal score. I'll try it on him now once he hopefully get a lot to score for it then. That say the slowdown and the bullet cancel mechanic is really good. That's one of the reasons I really love Escaluda. I think if you tap the button, you basically that energy bar builds up quicker. I think. By the look of it, it does anyway. See if I can get to. So it's quite a different way of playing. I say the music is good as well. They've definitely added stuff to the music. Just gonna bomb her. Yeah, I think this mode is definitely going to turn out to be just as good as the slash mode. In fact, I really like this mode. Maybe get it when I give it back. Basically with these lasers you've got to stay up top until he fires and then basically go down the other way. Oh, here we go. So you're getting down to the line you can see in the energy bar there. You can use this to your advantage. It's hard to time it because you've got to try and look at the energy bar while all that crap's going on. So I've got a bit of extra points off it. The NG looking like. Come on, fire. Got loads of points in. I timed it quite nicely with loads of those lasers on screen. As I haven't quite worked out the best way to score on it. I think that's more repeated play you're going to work out. So we'll play this until I die, and then that'll be the end of the overview of these games. I say, unless you're in a Japanese arcade, you're probably very unlikely to ever play these, unfortunately, or you buy an EXa system yourself. But like I said, with the EXa, you don't need an arcade machine. You can use it as basically a giant console. Good that you get that slow mode. Right, let's see if I can hog a load of points off this one. Yeah, at some points, one great. Get some more punch, get some more range off these guys. Die. Get nice points off these, mind. So if I hog some more, I need some more energy. So there's definitely high scoring potential on this. You just need to work out where that high scoring, where you can do it. Lost time. I do like this mode a lot. Say this game has been released on quite a few things lately. You're not going to get this version, but you're going to get basically the conversion of the 360 one. Well worth picking up, by the way. I do rate this game very highly. Definitely well worth picking up. Got some bombs, I might use some bombs on this guy so I don't die. Get his energy down. Right, he's going to die in a minute. Nice. Well, I've still got some extra points to get him right at the end as well. Cool. The last boss in this game as well is really difficult. I'll show you a quick go level 4 and then we'll have go the 360 one. I forgot to play the 360 one on me. Yeah, I'm sure there's some extra stuff in the background here, like some of the extra fish and some extra levels of parallax on the water bit, I think. I'd have to go back and look at the 360 version just to make sure. So you can score rather nicely when there's lots of stuff on screen. Look, shark there. I don't remember the shark. I'm sure, I could be wrong, but when you see the water parallax coming up now, I'm sure that looks nicer on you than it did on the 360 one and the arcade one. It's done a really good job at this. Good. Right, so we'll go back out to that and I'll show you the 360 mode. I can't remember what is the special mechanic or the MacGuffin with the 360 mode though, so climax mode. So exquisite widescreen rebalancing of the original game. Reach a climax of your power with unrestricted scoring potential. Sounds lovely. Let's go different character. Yeah, I don't know what the scoring is in this. See if we can figure it out. You can also wide fire. So you can build that up then. I'm trying to think I remember how to do it now. Let's have a look what happens when we go into it. That's right, you build them up around you. and then you press a button and then you can use them all. So if you press a button now, it'll all zoom into you. So you can, that's right, so you've got to build up more and more. You can use that to hog that off here, so I'll get that. Kill things then. Then press the button before he runs out. You get all the extra points for it. Quite an interesting version as well, to be honest. The thing about this is you can use putting that ball right in front of you to hog points off the bosses. Or die when you're trying. I wonder if the bomb is the same as any others. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to stay forward now to try and get the green fire in. See if I can kill him. Nah, you can get the points. Maybe you can't. I'm not sure. So that's the 360 version, basically. Slightly different mechanic again. Like I said, the 360 version, if you've got a UK 360, you can buy it really cheap, which is a bargain. Get all the DLC as well, and a music CD, which is really nice. My spread weapon going. Really? See if I can score off this guy. Nope. I'll just come backwards then. So I'm going to kill myself. Dead. So that's the 360 version. So basically there's 3 ways to play essentially on this game. So definitely keep coming back to more because they're quite different to each other. And I say you've got the original arcade one as well. So you got the EXa / climax and the original arcade, so there's 4 ways to play. So I'm going to hold down that and see if I can go back. But you can't once you put a credit in. So anyway guys, that's the EXa system. I know it was a little bit of a long overview and sort of showcase of the games, but you know, that's just how long it takes. Really nice system. I would like one myself. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to afford one really. To be honest, I'd probably have to buy a game a year or something, which would probably be alright actually. It'd give you a lot of time to play them. Yeah, very nice system indeed. They're doing quite well in the arcades. Like I said, they did start off doing a lot of Steam games, and now they are starting to get licenses and they're doing their own stuff. But yeah, I think it could definitely do with some full-on exclusives. Stuff is out nowhere else. I think there is one coming in mind. This is the original game, the way you bounce the bullets off the shield and they bounce around you and then you collect there. And then when you let go with the button, the bullets shoot away, bounce away, but then they come back in on you and you've got to dodge them. It's quite good, but slash mode's way better. Anyway. Yeah, so I think they need to get a bit more exclusives. I think there's one coming. There's a Toho shoot 'em up on you, which came out on PC like about 5 years ago, something like that. The EXa version looks way better than the PC one, and the PC one only supports low resolution as well. But there's a sequel to that coming out, and as far as I know, I don't think it's out in anything else. So that is probably going to be his first proper full exclusive. And no, I think there's a few other exclusive actually as well. I think there's like a almost like a gangbusters type game on you, where you're running around, you've got characters doing like a sports and doing events. I think there's maybe a few others, but yeah, I think they are starting to move into more sort of exclusives. Plus the Toplan games are going to be released on you as well, with loads of extra features, like battery guns coming first. and that's got scan lines. It's got a new mode, new music tracks. It's got 2 new characters, and it's got a load of improvements and extras and differences in mechanics, and that's possibly going to come out in the next month or so. So probably going to see a lot of the Toplan games being released back in the arcades. And I thought they had something like 30 games come out this year. I know there's a couple of beat 'em ups coming. One of them looks a little bit dodgy, but then the other 2 look rather nice. I'm trying to think what else has come in. There is an arcade version of Donut Dodo as well, with an extra level, which that's a really great game, man. It's definitely worth picking up, and it's only cheap as well. But I think that's something that would probably do really well in the arcades, because it is an old school arcade game. So that's coming out. All the games differ in prices as well, depending on what they are. Yeah, so the EXa system, very nice new arcade system. Like I say, if you fancy something new for your arcades in HD, it's well worth picking up. But like I say, it's expensive. It's not really meant for the home market, but very nice system indeed. And we'll call it that. So I will be streaming these games again, and maybe in the future I'll get a chance to borrow it again, maybe when Batsugan comes out or something, and then do another couple of streams on it. But hope you enjoyed it, and that's the EXa, guys. So I'll catch you soon. Ta-da!